Blessings, dear ones. This is Smidar from Song of Stones, and I want to tell you about these magical crystals. I call them inside-out crystals, or they call themselves, however you want to look at it. And I'll show you why I've called them that. They are crystals that have come together and in such a way that they've merged, and you can actually see the inside of the crystal through the inside of the crystal. It's a little hard to describe. You're seeing one crystal from inside another crystal. And also what you're seeing is the inside of the crystal. And I hope that you'll be able to see what I mean through this video. You can see that there's a bit of an interesting texture, and all these inside-out crystals have that same kind of texture and appearance when you're looking at them through the lens of another crystal. This one happens to have also a beautiful rainbow. That happens a lot when crystals merge together, or there's some sort of shift or fracture or something that happens within a crystal. Usually you'll see a rainbow. And when two crystals come together in this way, when one is inside another, it is in a sense a breaking of sorts. It's a transformation and an opening. If one being is inside another being, there has to be space made. And we sometimes call that a fracture or a break. And then you'll see rainbows. I'll show you another one that you might be able to see it better with this one, because the clarity on this one is amazing. So you can see around this area here, you can see the inside of the crystal. And hopefully you can see that texture that I'm talking about. So these crystals started singing to me in a very magical way, and on a very magical day. Just as these guys are inside out, the day they were singing, my house turned inside out, literally. A magical movement happened, and in the crystal room, crystals that had been inside cupboard came out on display, and those that had been out on display went inside the cupboard. And it may not sound that magical hearing me talk about it, but it was, I mean, first of all, the movement itself was magical, that it happened on this day, that these crystals were making their presence known. That in and of itself was magical. But the way it happened it was an echo of a couple of things. It was an echo of something that was going on with me personally, which I didn't realize till after, but it was also a reflection of a movement that happened upstairs as well. The same kind of movement was happening upstairs that day as well, where crystals were inside a cabinet and they came out on display, and the crystals that were out on display went into the cabinet. So in other words, they kind of turned inside out, just like this crystal did. But the most interesting thing is when I realized that some of the crystals that had come out were all the sparkly crystals. The ones that glowed and glittered, those had been inside a cupboard and hidden away in a sense. Not purposefully or intentionally, it's just that they were not seen. And those were the ones that came, the first to come out, the sparkly crystals. And I realized something. I realized that this was happening with me as well on a personal level, in a physical way, where I had been starting to reveal more of myself, share more of myself. One of the ways is through these crystal videos and through the crystal blessings that have been going out every morning. And so in a sense, the parts of myself that I've been keeping inside were coming out. My sparkle was being revealed. The sparkly parts of myself, that's what the crystals are showing me. It's really fascinating the way they reflect to us the things that are going on in our life in such a real and magical way. That's the story about these inside out crystals. And how they turned my day inside out, and how they showed me that I was being turned inside out.